Andrea Chicheva Loft 2.0 sheet is very important sheet for all transcribers. They have to follow the instructions and update their work progress very carefully in this sheet. This sheet helps the vendors or your client to track your work progress. And also at the end of the work, they calculate your payment regarding the informations you added in this sheet. So make sure that whenever you enter the details in this sheet are correct. If you enter wrong details or forget to update your works in this sheet will affect your payment. The first tab in this sheet is transcribers information. In this tab, you need to add your general informations like your name, your email ID, your language, your loft experience, your weekly committed delivery in audio hours, and also your test scores. On the basis of these informations, we select you for our work. Once you selected for our work, we will assign you transcribing IDs. Your name will mention in the F column of specific IDs. So you have to log in with the work platform with the given ID. If the ID is using for the first time, then you have to log in with the default password. The default password of each ID is given in the B column. After you successfully open the IDs with the default password, they will ask you to change to a new password, which is given in the F column. Which is given in the D column. That is cnadmin@2018. So once you change to a new password, then you can start working. The third tab is orientation tab. In this tab you can see the link to your guidelines, your training videos, and also it gives some warning which gives an overall idea about wrong usage of skip or submit button, or what are the criteria to terminate a transcriber from this work. So it is giving general warning about your works. Also you can see the quality rating of our project. Whenever you submit a task after transcription, it will went to a reviewer's pool. The reviewer will analyze your work and give rating to your work. If the rating is above 3 or above 3, that means you done a good job. If the rating is 3, that means your language guidelines is bad and your loft guidelines is good. So the action of this third rating is transcriber should work on the transcription quality immediately. Then only it considers for the payment. If it is 4th rating, you can work on feedbacks. Maybe you will made some a little bit errors, so you can clear the errors based on the feedbacks. If the rating is 5, then that means it is perfect. You don't need to anything in this project. But if your rating is below 3, that means 2 or 1, that means your work will not consider for payment. So always make sure that you secure a rating of 3 and above. Always try to maintain a 4+ rating every time. The next tab is also like an orientation tab. It is common mistakes. It is mentioned common mistakes and significant error clarifications in this sheet. That is like what are the actions to take when you are forget to what are the criteria for skipping a task, how to park a question ID, how to copy a question ID, etc, etc. So you can read these informations and you can understand it. It is very informative and it is very useful for you before start working. The final tab in this sheet is the the work progress tracker. Here you need to add details very carefully. Whenever you parked a question on your work pool, you have to mention that in this sheet also. Like in the username column, you just add your user ID and your user ID also here, and you need to copy paste the task ID from the work pool. In another video we will show you how to copy the task ID. Okay, so don't worry about it. And it is very important thing that the wrong entering of this task ID will not consider for payment. So the task ID should be correct, and we can directly copy the task ID from the work pool. And also the length, the duration should mark like in the same like in the work platform. So once you parked and start working on the task, you just mark the status as in progress. If it is finished, just change it to transcription completed, or if it is submitted, just mention submitted. If it is the skipped case, then mark status as skipped and give the reason why it is skipped, or the same in case of error in loading files also. And also mark the marked date and also the submission date. These are the things we have to do in this sheet. Make sure that you enter the details in the progress tracker tab is very correct.